Hello and good morning, aligned photographers. Happy Friday. Today's episode is a day late, and that is just because of life. Honestly, I am trying my absolute best to be very consistent because one thing I have learned throughout growing, running a business, and just success in general is consistency and consistency over perfection. So the fact that I'm showing up and even creating a podcast is a little bit of a miracle right now in my life, but I'm absolutely loving it. And today I believe we are in episode number 6 already. 6 is actually my lucky number. But yesterday life needed me instead. My friend needed me, my children needed me, and to be really honest, I don't function past 7 p.m. I absolutely cannot unless I'm out doing a maternity session, like a golden hour sunset session. Then, of course, which I actually did the night before, was my Golden Mama in person styled shoot and workshop that went through golden hour into blue hour. And it was absolutely stunning. So I feel like when I'm at a session, it just is giving me life. And as soon as I get home, I've always been this way. Even in college, when it came to studying, I'm truly not a morning person and I'm also not a night person. I think there's percentages of people who are typical morning people, typical evening people, and what you don't hear about as often is solid middle of the day energy, and that actually is where I'm at and have always been in my life. So when it comes to 7 p.m., I've got big hopes and dreams of like after the kids go to bed or when I get home, I'm gonna do this and that. I can't even edit. Like I really can't. I am I'm gone to the world after 7 p.m. after the kids are in bed. It is a miracle if I can even stay awake myself after the kids go to sleep. So, as much as I really wanted to get this episode out to you yesterday, here we are this morning, and I've got some ice cream mini sessions coming up here shortly as well. But today, I wanted to talk to you all about mom guilt. And actually, before I go there, I did want to mention a little bit about Golden Mama because it just happened and I just am so full. So full. Like, I love doing the in person workshop styled shoots. I host a retreat every February, and gathering with community has just been the most beneficial part of. I mean, I am generally like a very social, extroverted person. So I do love gathering in general. I love hosting at my home. I love to host photographer picnics. I go to monthly community studio meetups at North City Studio in like Shoreline area, and getting together with a group of photographers who are passionate about the same thing, and you're learning alongside each other, and you get to explore and you get to ask questions in real time. You get to watch other people work, not just me, right? Like when you come to a workshop or a retreat or style shoot that I'm hosting, it's not like you're just showing up and you're just watching me, right? And then I really want everybody to have an opportunity. So, for example, during this Golden Mama, one of the attendees asked, would it be okay if at some point, and we had not as many, it was a smaller intimate group this time. And she asked, is it okay if they have an opportunity to like come up with a suggest a prompt, suggest a pose? And I said, absolutely, please do that. Like everybody gets a solid opportunity to be right up front, to be getting any images they want, the close, the far away. I don't ever want people at my workshops to be worrying about, oh, I don't want to like step in front of anybody, or I don't want to get in anyone's way, or like, gosh, when's it going to be my turn? I know sometimes it can be hard in that environment to take the lead. And then some of us have the opposite problem where we forget that there's other people there and you need to step back, right? And so that's one thing that I assist and I guide. And that's really important to me is we're like, okay, this is the order in which we're going to do it. I'm going to set up the prompt. I'm going to set up the pose. I'm going to talk to you about it. take a couple pictures so that I make sure they get their gallery, and then we're gonna go in a line, and then you're gonna get a turn. You're gonna get like, and we go in a line. We make sure everybody has equal opportunity to get anything they want, and then it's fun when you get to suggest or try a new prompt or pose, and then I can step in and say, "Can I show you how I would make slight adjustments that just create more connection, that create more intimacy, and show you kind of how." For example, there was one prompt where the mom and dad, and this was a maternity session, pardon me, with a toddler at the beach. And so sorry, it's morning time and I don't edit these episodes. So I've got my water with me. But they were laying on the beach, mom and dad, having a moment to cuddle. Their baby, their toddler was running around. His name was Bruce. So cute. He was running around. And I was like, this is just a moment for the two of you. Like, go ahead and lean back into his chest. Dad, do you want to like hold her head, whatever? And then I was like, this is an opportunity. Like, let's see how comfortable they are. Of course, they've already seen my work. There's so much has been established ahead of time to create that trust and an expectation of what I may prompt or guide them to do, right? And I was like, do you want to just kind of like hold her like neck around her jawline a little bit, like a little sexier, right? Like a little bit more intimate where it's like, ooh, it's getting spicy, but like they're at a public beach and they've got a bunch of photographers, and I don't hire models. I really find real families, real moms. I really do like to have a diverse portfolio as much as possible. And so it's really fun, and I actually will read to you if I can pull it up quickly, just what I got afterwards from the model herself, the mom. She said, "Thank you again so much for a fun experience last night. As a pregnant mama that feels not like herself daily at this point, feeling good for even an evening and getting compliments is so rewarding and special." And so I absolutely love that, right? It can be so intimidating just to have your picture taken in general, let alone in front of multiple photographers. And so, anyways, the point of all of that is just that being able to have that experience together. We're going to do an editing session later today. I'm going to share my preset that I use on all of my sessions. And then just building community, building connections, like exchanging information with each other and chatting. It's always community over competition. I'm not actually sure if my mentor has like coined that term. I think she should. It's Elena S. Blair. She's all about community over competition, and 1000% I'm on board. It's so important. It's been crucial. So being able to host those and facilitate those evenings, days, full weekends, like in February, is so wonderful. It's so meaningful. And I can't wait to start planning the next one. So, when it comes to leaving our babies at night, right? Leaving our babies anytime, all weekend long. It depends on how old your baby is, depends on what season of life that you're in, really their age, right? And how you feel. It can be hard. So even though I had something that was so fulfilling and I absolutely love it, and I'm at Golden Mama, like this is something that I've created, it's something I'm passionate about, it's something that really, really fulfills me while I'm there. Then you combine that with being gone all day yesterday. And then today I have work. And then Saturday and Sunday are both full days. And it's like I'm just seeing my children here and there, right? And I sent out an email maybe back in June, beginning of June, to my line photographer community. If you're on my email list, then you would have received it. Just all about mom guilt and how we all probably experience it to some degree, right? So I read this book by Emma Greedy called Start With Yourself. I just finished this book. Such an accomplishment. I started it in June. My goal this year, one of my personal goals, is to read one physical book a month. I accidentally said on my stories on Instagram that I wanted to read 12 books a month, but I meant 12 a year. People actually believe me that I said 12 books a month. And I'm like, I literally don't know how that would be possible. Not possible for me. One book a month, 12 books this year is my goal. This book, The Start With Yourself, took me, I just finished it. It took me a full 2.5 months. It is incredibly dense, incredibly dense. However, I got little bits of nuggets, important things out of it. And I am very much excited to move on to another book now. However, in this book, what I shared in my email is that she it just straight up says that she doesn't partake in mom guilt. And first of all, fantastic for her. I also don't know how that's possible to like not feel it or experience at all. It's absolutely something that I know that I've struggled with. And I'm sure that her kids are incredibly important to her as well. And she says she has a lot of masculine energy, and her businesses are also incredibly important to her. Self care is really important to her, right? Like your children can be so, like we say, like, oh, they're our whole world, right? But they're not your whole world. You have maybe a partner, you have maybe friends and family, and most of all you have yourself, right, that you have to look after. And then you have your business. And for those of us who are starting, running, growing our own businesses, especially the little small businesses, right, no matter how much money you're making with it, you absolutely, like, it's another baby. It's your baby too. I feel like my business is absolutely a third baby of mine. And it's just not what I envisioned. So I think before we have children, we do have a general idea of what we want motherhood to look like, what type of mom we want to be, how much time we want to spend with our children, if we think we want to work, if we think we want to stay home. And then we have children, and that can change and that can look different than you expected. And at least for me, that has taken some getting used to, right? It's like an acceptance of, oh, not only does like life look different than I thought that it might look, but like I'm different than I thought that I might be. I remember thinking that I was going to have my children, and maybe Casey would just disappear and I would just be mom. And it's funny because my daughter she knows my name now. She's 5.5. But for the longest time, she would try to call me Casey. I'm like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Who is she? No, I'm mom. I'm mommy. And that's kind of what I thought would happen when I had her. And I remember very quickly after having her, kind of having the realization like, oh, now I'm a mom and I have a baby, and here she is, and she's my priority and all those things. But like I'm still me, and I still like the things that I like, and I still want to do the things that I want to do. And one thing that I've really had to come to terms with, or accept, I guess, is that I'm still extremely ambitious. And I've talked previously about how the flip side of ambition can be, stress that you're putting on yourself, pressure that you're putting on yourself. And we already, as mothers have so much pressure that society puts on us, that we put on ourselves. I know the pressure that I put on myself is just that it's incredibly important to me to have a very close relationship with my children. And I don't mean that I want to be their friend, right? Like I'm not trying to be their friend. I I want to be their mom, right? It's a different type of relationship. I didn't have a lot of that modeled to me growing up because my mom was pretty young when she had me. And my grandma raised me until I was 6 years old. And so I've been closer to like the mother figures in my life, where it hasn't been as defined, right? Where like, no, like I'm definitely not your friend. And however, I do want us to like enjoy spending time together. I want you to be able to come to me when things that are hard happen in life and you need someone to share them with. You want someone to share them with. You want advice, or maybe you just want somebody to listen. There is a photographer, I'll say her name, Becca Jean Photography out of Portland, Oregon, who has teenagers right now. And I strongly admire what their relationship looks like from the outside looking in. And I've said this to her, and I reached out and I've said like, you know, you it looks like you're very close with your teenagers. And our children are going to go and they're going to be their own people, and they're going to have their own personalities, and that could be very different than you, right? Like my children could end up being very interested in things that I'm not interested in at all. Like on paper, we might not actually have that much in common as they grow up and go live their lives. And I still want them to feel safe with me, secure with me, close with me. I want them to want to spend time with me. And of course, I'll be like, I will express interest in their interests and all these things. But I asked Becca recently, she shared some updated family photos of her own while they were traveling together as a family, which, as if you know anything about me, you know how much I also really love to travel. We travel a lot as a family. And I just asked, like, it looks like you guys are really close, and I admire that so much. And if you have any parenting advice that you want to give, I'm all ears. Like, please share with me what the strategy has been essentially. And one nugget that she shared that I think is amazing is she said as they get older, when they come to you, you can ask them if they want you to just listen or if they want your advice. She said her kids almost always ask for her advice, but it's nice because even then, if they want your advice, they've made the choice to ask for it, and then they're more likely to receive it. And so that's pretty cool and absolutely something that I will be taking with me as my children grow. Right now, of course, I'm in a very different season. My son turns 2 on the 29th. That's like 2 weeks away. My daughter's 5.5. And so we're far from teenagers, but to be honest, that's kind of always what I'm thinking about. It's like teenage years and beyond, because I feel like everything I'm doing now is laying the foundation for that. And I do realize that on a daily basis, this feels like forever, right? Like one whole day by 10 a.m., I really feel like I could have lived multiple days already sometimes. So when you're in it, it feels like it's so long. But I do know that most of our life together, they will not be little. They will not be in my house. They will be older, making their own decisions, doing their own things. And so that's why this season feels so heavy to me sometimes, and why it feels like there's so much pressure because I only get this for like a blip, right? And I will have the whole rest of my life to work on my business. But the flip side is, well, by working on my business now, the sooner and more I develop my business and get that established, all things lead us to having the finances, having the schedule, having the life that we can enjoy together, right? I want to be able to help my kids financially as they move out of the house, as they go and live their life, whatever they need. I want us to travel together. I want us to have experiences together. I want the best for them and I want the best for us. And so that comes with finances, like that comes with making money. And how lucky am I that I get to have a career where I can do that while also having the flexibility and the freedom to have whatever schedule I want, right? But I do still have to work. I do still have to have time away from them. They're not sitting here with me on this podcast, or we wouldn't even get 30 seconds through it. They don't come with me to sessions anymore, although I did bring my daughter for a period of time when I was just starting my business until she got to the point where she needed more attention. But we have to take time away from them. And even if we weren't running the business, well, there's other things in life, right? Like, are they in school? Do they have sports and activities? When are you going to see your friends? When are you going to go get a haircut? When are you going to do laundry? I'm staring at my pile of laundry on the floor, which I've probably mentioned in other episodes because it seems like it's always there. And my husband literally said to me the other day, he's like, I think we need to schedule an hour. Like, let's put an hour on the calendar just to do laundry. And I'm like, seriously, like sometimes that is what it feels like is you have to schedule that stuff in because there is so much to do. And I don't want to just be around. Like, I don't want my body to be here, moving, working, doing laundry, but not actually be present with my children, right? Like it's important. I've noticed when I have like little sips of being present, I guess I would call it. Little intentional sips of connection with my children, whether it's like, okay, for the laundry, for example, since I'm staring at it. When I try to put it away, I might think, I want to hurry up and put this away. And if my kids are in the room, they're going to be throwing it everywhere, It's gonna be taken down the hall, it's gonna be tossed down the stairs, whatever else. It's gonna take me forever to do this laundry, right? Or I could say, you know what? It's it's been here, it's gonna be here, there's gonna be another load. Like, let me include them, let me take some time, let's play in between. Like we can go about it in a way that's not rushed, that's not stressful. It can be fun and like eventually, maybe the laundry will get done. Another example is like sometimes, and this is something that I actually really need to work on. Sometimes I will be folding the blankets for the couch downstairs, and they're like these big, fluffy, big blankets from Costco. They always come out with them around Christmas time. So be on the lookout because they're fantastic. But I'll be like, they're huge. So I have to open it up and fold it up every single time without fail. My children will come running, like the parachute game, when you're in elementary school. They'll come running and they want to like go under it and play and like be folded in it and squished. I very rarely, I feel like so sad kind of admitting this. I very rarely partake in that game because I'm like, I'm just trying to fold this blanket. I just need to fold this blanket. Like, please just let me clean up, let me pick up. But having a moment and reminding myself, like, just take the second to play the game with them. And in 30 seconds, they're gonna want to go do something else. And you've had a little intentional sip of connection where, like, yes, you're still cleaning, yes, you're still moving around, but you're there, you're present, you're connecting, right? And so I think if we can get more little moments like that, it's helpful. I've really, really been asking myself a lot recently about the decision with school. So when I started my business, my daughter had just turned 1. And it's hard. It's so much work, right? We're constantly working on our business. I don't just go to work from 8 to 5. I don't have like the consistent childcare, right? It's fluctuated. I've actually extremely resisted getting more childcare as my business has grown and as my children have grown because every single time it feels to me like, what can I just make it work? Like, can I just it's really hard for me to it's not even about the money because of course like the finances are a piece in it, right? Like how much childcare can we afford? But also how much time is it worth me? Like, well, then when do I get to spend with my children? It limits the amount of time that I'm going to be with them. It's always a trade, right? It's always a trade. And I'm always reevaluating if it feels good. Does it feel good to me? Does it feel good to my kids? How are they responding to this adjustment? All of those things. And so as we approach school age, we've decided to homeschool. And I feel insane for making that choice. Partly because I know, well, it's like there's a lot that goes into it, right? Like, but ultimately it was because that the jump would be Monday to Friday, I think like 8:30 to 2:30 or 3:30, something like that, right? 5 days a week. And then I do sessions on the weekend. And so then when would I see her? You know what I mean? And it's just also that's a long day. So for her, she was at home with me. We never did daycare. I never had full-time childcare. I had some Fridays. For a while, I did a nanny share every other Tuesday for like 3 or 4 hours, right? So very, very minimal. And then sometimes when I could make it to the gym, right, for an hour, she would be in the daycare at the gym. But my point is, I've never, since having my children, thankfully, have had to work a Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. So they've been with me all the time, like a lot. And so then she just started going to preschool just 3 days a week for like 2.5 hours, 3 hours, those 3 days for this past year. And so then to make the jump to like 5 days, full days, of course, to me was like those are going to be long days and it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard adjustment for her. She's going to be tired. She's going to be emotional. I don't know. It just felt like a really big jump for our family and the situation that we've been in with her being home so much and being with me so much. So that was one aspect of it where I felt like if half day kindergarten was still just like an easy public school option, I probably would have just sent her to that and not thought twice about it. But because of the full day, I thought that's too much. And then when I really, really, really get honest with myself, I'm like, I'm a little bit selfish too because I want the time with her. And and I desperately also want the time for my business because the reality is when you are running and growing a photography business, you can sit down. I absolutely could sit down at my computer 5 or 6 days a week for 6 to 8 hours and always have something else to do. Always. I mean, I could just list the massive amounts of tasks that are constantly needing to be done, even when you set up automations, even when you set up systems, all these things that are helpful. You could be blogging, you could be updating, you still need to do editing, you still need to do some client correspondence, right? There's always more things that you could be doing, especially as an educator now. I just added a whole nother business to my list of to dos, right? And so, as much as I want that time for my business, I still am very much trying to navigate the harmony between time with my children and time with my business because I feel the guilt of not being with them anytime I'm not with them. And as we go forward, I'm just thinking back to like all the times where I've contemplated, would it be easier? Would it be easier if I just left the house? Like, even if I just went to a WeWork, right? What's better for me to be sitting here at my desk where again, my body is present, but I'm not, and then they can see me? Or would it be better for me, but they can't necessarily have my attention, right? When they want it? Or should I just go and like, I'll just go, I'll just be gone, I'll be working, and then I'll come home. But the truth is, when I'm working, especially from home, almost every 5 minutes, probably at least every 5 minutes, I'm getting up to clean up someone's poop. I'm wiping someone's butt. I'm cleaning up someone's bodily fluid from something. I'm changing the bedding. I'm grabbing a snack. I'm tying something. You know what I mean? Like I'm constantly getting somebody off of a counter. I don't know. There's food being flung everywhere. It is a constant interruption. Even when I have childcare, right? If I see that my children need something or that there needs to be help with something, like I'm still gonna be here. I'm still gonna be, and I'm breastfeeding. So, like, especially in the beginning, it was like, well, every couple hours I'm breastfeeding. I'm still laying my baby down for a nap when it's time for nap time. And so, even on a work day when I have childcare, it is not interrupted by any means, not uninterrupted, sorry. And so, but that's by choice, right? And so when I've been like struggling and overwhelmed and thought like, gosh, I really need more time. What do I do? And the thought of like, will my kids, the ultimate goal, right, is like, how will my kids feel? I don't want to, I know they're already going to come to me at some point, right? Like teenagers, early 20s, we all don't like something that our parents did, okay? No matter how you were raised, in any situation, we're all kind of upset about something, right? At least that's what my experience talking to other people have been. It could be minor, right? But I know at some point they're going to come to me and say, I wish something had been different, right? And I know that I can't avoid that. However, I want them above all to feel like they were a priority. I want them to know how much I valued spending time with them, how much I love them, how much I'm there for them, like they are my priority. And it's also very good for them to see us doing things for ourselves, to see us prioritizing relationships, our partners, to see us prioritizing self care. Extremely important, especially for mothers. You have to teach that by setting an example. It's also extremely important to see you going after your dreams and your goals and your aspirations and not just sacrificing everything to go do something that you don't enjoy every day just to make money to help put food on the table or whatever it is, right? Like, I think for our children to see us go after something we're passionate about and work hard to make our dreams a reality is nothing but inspiring. And important to set boundaries, right? To know, like, okay, don't bring your computer or your phone to the dinner table. Don't, there's got to be times when you check out. And I think that's why it's really nice when, yes, the weekends that I'm home right now, especially over the summer, have been like, probably double the amount that I want that I would love to be doing. I'm like double time busy on the weekends we're home, but it's been like every other weekend that I completely check out. And we went to the beach house for 5 days, and we're taking camping trips where there's literally not even cell service, right? So I'm not on my phone, I'm not messaging anybody, nothing. I am fully present like every other weekend for at least a few days, which is really nice. It's nice for everybody. And when we have traveled as a family, which is a lot, I mean, we just were in Portugal, and maybe you see me post about this, but I we were asking our daughter on like the second to last day, and we'd done incredible things. I don't know why this is one of my top favorite things. We like hand milked, probably because I love breastfeeding. We hand milked cows. It was so cool. Me and my daughter like express the milk, everything ourselves. So cool. And then we got to like bottle feed little baby calves. We went on a dolphin cruise, thousands of dolphins. It was absolutely incredible. And we're just like in one of the most beautiful places in the entire world. And she even had like, we actually met up with another photographer and her family for a lot of it. And so my daughter had another little friend that she got to play with the whole time. And I thought that's amazing. She's going to love this trip because she had a friend with her. And usually when she plays with the neighborhood girls, at the end of the day, I'll always ask her, like, what was your favorite part about today? And she'll always say, like, playing with a friend over anything fun that maybe we did together. She's definitely at an age where she is prioritizing like friendships, sometimes. And, anyways, 2 days away from coming home, we asked, what has been your favorite part of the trip? And she said she was just happy that we were all there together. And I honestly wish that I had my phone out. I was not prepared for my husband to ask that question. I was not prepared for like the sweetest answer in the world that she gave. Cause I mean, I wouldn't usually expect that from her actually. But it was just such a fantastic reminder that all they really want is our time. All they want is our time and our attention. They really want to be engaged with us. And it's not going to be that way for very long. So anyways, I hope that's not adding any more guilt to anyone else's plate. It's just something that I'm aware of, and I'm making it a priority, and every single day I'm asking myself what needs my attention more today and how are we feeling? I need to constantly evaluate it, right? But I know that I am the best mom for my children. And I know that you, if you're listening, are 1000% the absolute best mother for your children. And I know that you care deeply, deeply about them, and you care deeply about your motherhood experience. If you're listening to this podcast, that's probably a solid assumption. And so I just want to remind you that it is an amazing thing to go after your dreams and do it alongside raising your babies, no matter what age they are, no matter what you decide to do with schooling, homeschooling or not. And whatever your schedule may look like, right? But set the boundaries, and it's going to change. It's going to change during the summer. It's going to change as we move back into the fall season. There's going to be holidays. There's going to be things throughout the year and throughout our lives that you need to reevaluate. How much do my children need me right now? How much time, attention, is it protecting bedtime? Is it protecting dinners together? Is it protecting Sunday afternoons, Friday nights, whatever that looks like to you? Set the boundary and protect that. And then feel good about what you are when you're working and you're getting it done. And I'm going to take a moment. We're going to do this laundry together. And I am not going to stress about getting it done timely. I'm just going to have fun putting away the laundry with my kids and including them, right? And just remembering that they know that I love them and they know that they are my priority. And it's so great for them to see me making my dreams a reality, because they're going to know that that's possible, and they're going to know that they can do it too without sacrificing their values, without sacrificing their self-care, without you don't have to sacrifice any of these things to build a deeply aligned profitable business. And that is something that I work very strongly with. That's really the whole reason behind my one-on-one personalized mentorships, is that I want to help other mothers build deeply aligned profitable businesses without having them sacrifice their values or their motherhood. So that looks different for everyone. And I just help people, I help moms evaluate where they're at in their season of life and what they want their business to look like. And we build it from there. So, this is maybe my longest episode so far, and I'm going to leave it at this. But I hope that if you're enjoying these podcast episodes, if you give it a follow, I think there's a rating, I think you can review. I would appreciate that so much. As always, feel free to send me a message. Let me know what you want to talk about, what you want to hear about. I will bring guests on periodically. It's not always going to be me just like yapping away. But I just appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And for now, I'll see you next week. Bye, line photographers.